X-Play, we'll preview Crysis Warhead and have the latest news on when you'll finally get to play Final Fantasy 13.
Plus, we're going to review Madden NFL 09 All Play for the Wii and take you inside the geeky art extravaganza I Am 8-Bit. X-Play starts right now. Welcome to X-Play TV's most watched video game show. I'm Blair Herter, filling in for Adam Sessler, who's getting his lederhosen on in Germany right now.
And I'm Morgan Weber, coming to you from the G4 Studios in Los Angeles on Monday, August 18th.
On today's show, we're going to try our hand at assassinating the Jackal as we preview FarCry 2. Forget tropical settings and ridiculous Pharaoh powers. This game throws all your expectations right out the window.
Then uber genius Will Wright is back with another Will Wright Minute. This time you might learn something about 2001: A Space Odyssey. But first, let's get all of the day's top stories in the gaming update.
According to the latest reports, EA's offer to buy out Take-Two company shares runs out tonight at midnight, and it looks like we've got a stalemate. Electronic Arts CEO John Riccitiello made it clear his company will not renew their bid, and that they have to pull the plug because Take-Two would not be fully integrated before the holiday season. Now, Take-Two has offered to give a presentation showing just how valuable they really are, and presumably reveal their plans for the future, but they're still holding out for more cash. We will continue to follow this story as it develops. Now, while Sony Online's new MMO, The Agency, will be released for both the PlayStation 3 and the PC, the game will not have cross-platform gameplay. Lead designer Hal Milton said the technology is there, but the team doesn't want to make compromises to support both platforms. Now, several of the agency's team members worked on Shadowrun and said they aren't terribly interested in polarizing the fan base once again, and that is one excuse we're willing to accept. Nice. Next, BioWare has confirmed that Dragon Age Origins will appear on consoles. The PC version of the game is expected to be released early in 2009, with the console version following next year. RPG fans will be pleased to hear that Origins is only the beginning. BioWare is planning to develop a series of games based on the Dragon Age franchise. And finally, since we might not see a completed version of Final Fantasy 13 until the next Olympics, we're glad to report that a big demo is on the way. A special edition of Famitsu has revealed that a standalone demo disc will be packed in with the Blu-ray release of Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Complete. The demo is said to last over 2 hours and will be from an early portion of the game. Japan gets the demo in March, but a U.S. release date has not been announced. That's it for today's gaming update. For the latest news, be sure to check out our website, g4tv.com/xplay. Now let's go over to Morgan for some action that takes place on a different island than the one on Lost.
Yes, Crysis Warhead is not a sequel, but sort of a companion piece to last year's graphics hog. While you were running around as Nomad, obsessively checking the game's frame rate, Psycho was on the other side of the island, tearing things up. This time you'll get to see his story, and we've got a preview.
It's been nearly a year since Crysis forced us to update our junky old beige boxes to the hulking, overclocked, water-cooled behemoths that they are today. But there are more games that you can play on a machine like that than just Crysis. You can also play the upcoming Crysis Warhead. Even though we were promised a full Crysis trilogy, this is not the second game in that series. Instead, this story takes place on the same island at the same time, with many of the same enemies. So what's different? You're playing as Sergeant Michael Sykes, aka Psycho, one of the many special ops forces you met in the original game. How can you tell him apart from the other soldiers? He's the limey British guy.
Yes, Mom.
With a head full of royalist sympathies and a holster full of high-powered weaponry, Psycho's in charge of an alternate group of warriors on the far side of the island. Natch, they run into many of the same problems that plague Nomad, namely North Korean fighters and foul-mouthed compatriots.
Have I mentioned that I
As you work your way across the island, you'll have access to most of the guns and vehicles that you encountered in the first game. Additionally, you'll once again be able to commandeer almost any vehicle you come across for a little four-wheel drive mayhem. Although much of the action looks similar, don't think of this as a simple expansion pack. Expect Warhead to enrich and deepen the story of Crysis. Also, now that you've had a chance to play with the nano suit a bit in the first game, here you'll really see the extent of the suit's abilities. With powers like superhuman strength and invisibility, this is the must-have article of clothing for 2008. No doubt there are still a few surprises up Crytek's sleeves, though, and there's no way we've seen everything that Warhead has to offer.
Bring it on, you punk-ass bitches!
We'll have a full review and Crysis Warhead guns on the shelves on September 16th.
Last week we reviewed Madden NFL 09 for the 360 and it earned itself a tasty 5-star rating. Now instead of making a graphically inferior online GIMP version for Wii owners, EA opted to tailor a version specifically for the console. So does that mean we need to get 2 copies of Madden this year? Find out in our review.
And John Madden's complete and total conquering of the universe continues with Madden NFL 09 All Play. If Madden went out there and half-assed this Wii game because he was scared, then we'll always wonder if he was really good enough. But Madden went out there and gave it all he's got. That's heroic. Adding All Play to the title isn't just a secret code meant for Freemasons. It pretty much sums up this game. Anybody can play. It's as simplified can be. It's very easy. You don't choose the receiver you're throwing to. I mean, who needs that sort of pressure? This guy will find out soon enough. Now, Sir John Madden, Esquire, knows where his bread is buttered. Along with his lackey, L. Michaels, Johnny Boy is back as an announcer. Look at little me, John Madden. Oh, you are such a cute John Madden. Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. The game modes this time out are identical to the 07 version, like the Superstar mode, and all the drills to make you a better player. So we've seen what's old.
I don't think that guy could hit the water if he fell out of the boat.
No, not you, John Madden, although you are old. Let's see what's new. There's 5-on-5. It's definitely a blitzy kind of football. I haven't seen a swelled head that big since my co-host was praised on the blogosphere. Now, if you like a little bit of challenge to your Wii footballness, there's a new Call Your Shots option. That's where, unlike the New England Patriots, you actually call your own plays without cheating. Look, if you're gonna play Madden on the Wii, you have to expect a certain lightheartedness to the whole situation. It's not the most realistic version of Madden, but it is the best Wii football game to date. And that's all that counts. Madden NFL 09 All Play gets 4 Raider touchdowns out of 5. Despite the fact that the stars of Madden are all 1s and 0s, that doesn't mean we can't be fans, and just like real life, some are way more popular than others. In today's X List, we run down the top 5 favorite virtual athletes. In at number 5 is Michael Strahan from Madden 2002. He made for an unstoppable defense and produced sacks all season. In at 4 is QB Eagles from Tecmo's Super Bowl. This was actually Randall Cunningham, but his name was taken out because he had not signed with the Players Association when the game was released.
Coming in at number 3 is Randy Moss from Madden 2002. Basically, if you threw the ball up in the air any place, anywhere, he brought it down.
In at number 2 is Michael Vick from Madden 2004. In this game, he could run faster than anyone, and this is the part where you make a dogfighting joke.
And the number 1 virtual football player is without a doubt Bo Jackson. Forget 1,000-yard seasons. This guy had 1,000-yard games. And today you can actually knock off $1,000 off a new Honda if your credit's good. Will Wright, creator of The Sims and Spore, does not sit in front of his computer all day hacking away at code and plotting new ways to play God. No. He's our version of a Renaissance man, knowledgeable on many topics like dead animals and Stanley Kubrick movies. For his take on life, we present the Will Wright Minute.
So my favorite film of all time is 2001: A Space Odyssey, and what's interesting is Kubrick broke almost every rule of filmmaking that there was in making that movie. He was basically trained as a photographer before he came into film, and he would use his 70mm film camera like a still camera, and he would set it up on a scene and sit there and film the scene for a minute with nothing happening. The beginning of 2001, if you look at it, he has these scenes of the African savannah where the camera is just kind of sitting there looking at a landscape and nothing's happening. You hear a little bit of sound, maybe the sun's rising very slowly a little bit. And in one of the scenes, you see this dead zebra with these vultures coming down to eat it. Now, when they filmed that scene, they couldn't get permission to kill a zebra, and they couldn't find a dead zebra. So what they had to do is they actually found a dead horse and got these guys to paint it like a zebra. And so the zebra in 2001 is really a horse.
Mi dispiace Davide, ma Will non mi lascia.
Coming up on X-Play, Kristen Holt's got a Madden cheat that will have you in the end zone in no time. Find out how to get your passing game up to speed. Plus, we'll preview the explosive FarCry 2 with your choice of 8 different characters in a whole new setting. This sequel is full of surprises. And be prepared to get cultured as we head to I Am 8-Bit. This is one art exhibit you'll definitely want to visit. All that and more right after this. Brought to you by Jack in the Box. Try the new real fruit smoothies, only at participating restaurants.
Is there anything at PAX that you're looking forward to this year?
Welcome back to X-Play. Thank you, kind sir, for the question. Morgan, my mom always said ladies first, so...
Well, it actually makes it very easy. We can say what we're looking forward to this year because we made it. We can say it in television form because we have X-Play. We have a special episode introducing exactly what we're looking forward to, and it's on August 29th. It's a 1-hour show.
Yeah, and that is August 29th for those that just missed what you just said. As a Halo fan, you know that recently Bungie said that if you're a Bungie fan, you need to go to this PAX. So I'm assuming that there's going to be an announcement there.
They better make a big announcement. When they say something like that and they give you like a new trailer or something, everyone gets a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, we don't need that at all. And the one last thing, I'm thinking the Omegathon. I think Penny Arcade's putting on like the Gaming Olympics, and that's the most exercise I'm going to get this year. So I'm stoked on that.
Well, it's a big year. It's the first time X-Play's going. It's going to be a good time. All right, with Madden NFL 09 now featuring online leagues, the stakes have been raised. Losing now can be done on a global level, and taking a beating is no longer a humiliating moment between two players. Kristen Holt's got all the tips you need to stay in the game.
Thanks, Morgan. All right, last week I showed you how to get your running game up to speed, and now it's time to take to the air. With a solid passing game, you'll be as unbeatable as Tom Brady, and, oh wait, well, you'll be pretty good.
Try to get within a field goal on this attempt.
Unless your kicker can kick 70-yard field goals, if you want to put some points on the board in the great American game of football, you've got to do one of two things.
He came down with it. Touchdown.
Pass or run.
He gets in for 6.
I've got some tips that'll improve your passing game.
Manning backs to pass.
First, some basics. A good quarterback and at least one great receiver is square one.
He's looking to throw.
Next, make sure you know your receiver's strengths. Some receivers excel at short routes and quick tosses.
Goes out of bounds at the 8.
Others specialize in leaping out of coverage and catching the Hail Marys that you probably shouldn't be throwing in the first place.
Makes the reception.
Also, don't forget your tight end. While you're lobbing your long incompletions, they're sipping little umbrella drinks waiting for some action.
And a big catch by the tight end. First down, looking to throw.
Now, here's the trick to passing.
Loads up.
Read the D.
Throws it deep to the middle.
Pull your right trigger to check out the defensive formation before you snap the ball. Opponent playing lots of zone coverage?
All kinds of pressure.
Run some shallow crossing routes. Facing some man-to-man? Consider some curl routes or look towards the sidelines.
Talk about a throw.
Don't get greedy.
Defender tips it away. The defense was coming with a heat on that.
On the other hand, if you see 2,400 pounds of defense stacking up, you may consider making that star receiver earn his keep downfield.
Sees a man, goes deep.
Way downfield.
Got him deep again.
Passing can be risky, but with smart decisions and a keen eye, you can minimize the mishaps and start racking up those first downs.
What a catch! Touchdown! The coach is...
Be sure to check G4TV.com/cheat for the latest tips and tricks. Right now, I'm going to send it back over to Blair.
Thank you, Kristen. Usually sequels mean rehash. We get the same stories and characters with some minor adjustments so the game can shift as fast as possible. But Far Cry 2 isn't your typical follow-up, no. In fact, it bears little resemblance to the previous game, and this preview explains why.
If you're expecting Far Cry 2 to be the next chapter in the story of ex-Special Forces badass Jack Carver, you couldn't be more wrong. Jack won't be coming back, but you'll have 8 new protagonists to choose from, each with their own unique story. Say goodbye to the South Pacific, as well as the over-the-top feral power seen in console versions of Far Cry. This time, you're headed to Africa, and there's 50 kilometers of land to explore and explode. Far Cry 2 is a non-linear, open-world shooter, so you have the ability to pick and choose your battles. You decide who you want to help and who to kill. That's what mercenaries do. They wander from town to town, meet people, get in adventures, and... oh, that's Kanan Kung Fu. Don't worry, you won't be wandering the landscape without a sense of purpose. There's a single mission at the heart of the story: kill the Jackal. No, not Bruce Willis, though we wish that were the case. The Jackal is an evil arms dealer who has no problem instigating war so business will stay booming. He's supplying both sides of a brutal conflict, and taking him out is the only way to restore peace in this corner of the world. In Far Cry 2, realism is key. You can't go around firing the same gun for days at a time. Weapons degrade over time and can jam up if you're not paying attention. If you become a gunshot victim yourself, you're gonna have to dig the bullet out, take it like a man. You'll have to rely on your real-life navigational skills to get around using a map and a compass. With a dynamic weather system, day and night cycles, and adaptive enemy AI, no two firefights will be the same. Throw in some intense multiplayer action, not to mention a promised 50 hours of gameplay, and you've got yourself one must-have shooter. Far Cry 2 will be available for the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and PCs later this year.
When X-Play returns, we'll take you inside I Am 8-Bit, an art show that you'll actually appreciate, especially if you're a Legend of Zelda fan. But first, test your wits with today's trivia question.
In which X-Play April Fool's episode did the original Far Cry review air? Was it A, April 1st, 2004, B, April 1st, 2005, or C, April 1st, 2006? The answer right after this. Today's cheat is brought to you by Snickers. Feast. Earlier, we asked you, in which April Fool's episode did the original Far Cry review air? The answer is A, April 1st, 2004, when the show transformed into the evening news.
Welcome back to X-Play. Whenever I walk into a museum, the first thing that pops into my head is, this place really needs an 8-foot mural of Kid Icarus. Well, thankfully, I Am 8-Bit makes that thought a reality. The gaming-obsessed art exhibition has returned to Los Angeles, and we were there for opening night for all the festivities.
I am here at World of Wonder in Hollywood, California, where they're hosting the 4th annual I Am 8-Bit art show. Now, what this is it's a collection of art inspired by video games. So for all you naysayers out there who say that video games aren't art, why don't you take a walk inside with me? So I'm hanging out with Scott Campbell, creator of this lovely piece of work here behind me. Scott, what's your inspiration? Why choose this?
Well, what I decided to do was I wanted to do some of the great showdowns in the history of 8-bit video games that I grew up with. You know, like Rampage and Ghosts and Goblins and Tetris, and just kind of like the heroes with the adversaries, kind of just like them hanging out with each other. And Moon Patrol is just Moon Patrol buggy with a rock. So,
which makes total sense. I mean, that was one of the classic confrontations. Moon Patrol, rock.
One of the best.
I chose Legend of Zelda because I spent a lot of hours playing the game, and the piece itself, I guess I kind of feel like that on a daily basis, so it's personal and it fits the game that I wanted to paint.
I'm here with Food One. You should wiki that because he's got some cool stuff out on the interwebs. And we're here to talk about your two pieces here. Now, obviously, people are going to recognize this from the movie. Were you commissioned to do these pieces before the movie, or were you huge fans of the movie and then you like put it together and said, "Hey guys, look what I made"?
I'm a huge fan of the movie. Everybody told me to check it out. I think it's like actually one of the best documentaries ever made. I mean, the story is amazing. The characters, the two main guys, Billy and Steve, are amazing, and it's almost like you couldn't script that.
I am here with John Gibson, the not-so-evil mastermind behind this fiasco here today. John, this is your 4th year doing this. A, congratulations. And B, why are we here? How are we still here after 4 years?
It makes me kind of slightly evil because I've been doing a video game art event for 4 years. It's an awesome time, man. It's a celebration of like 80s game culture, the icons that like set our hearts afire when we were little, like Mario, Donkey Kong, Mega Man, all those cool effing characters.
So there you have it, folks. We've taken you inside I Am 8-Bit, and right now I have literally tens of dollars burning a hole in my pocket. So if you'll excuse me, I gotta go barter down some artists. Can I just say that I'm excited about the fact that we live in a world where a macaroni collage of Samus can go for like 3 Gs? I think that's awesome. For our viewers who made the unfortunate mistake of taking a bathroom break, we've got the X-Play replay. Today we reviewed Madden NFL 09 All Play for the Wii. The game doesn't have the bells and whistles that its high-def counterparts do, but it's perfectly tailored for the Wii, and it offers its own unique options, like big-headed 5-on-5 football. It's the best football game on the Wii, and that's saying something. It gets a 4 out of 5.
Tomorrow on X-Play, we'll have the final verdict on the long-awaited 2 Human, Dennis Diak's epic RPG that's been 10 years in the making. Find out if it was worth the wait in our review. Plus, we'll go hands-on with Pure, the wild new racer where you can build your vehicle from scratch, and the options are endless. And get ready for a preview of Tom Clancy's War. We'll show you how you can control World War III with just your headset. It all starts at 8. Don't miss it.
We have actually a very big week. We have War coming up, which is great. We looked at it at E3, and I'm like, this is never going to work. No. And I was kind of convinced, actually, really quickly. So you have to see it being played in action, which we'll have a preview, which is great.
Preview. Speaking of E-views, tomorrow we're having a review of 2 Human. We've been waiting 10 years for this.
Yeah, you should definitely check that out. Everyone's trying to get their hands on it right now. So
I can't wait.
Now, check out Cops 2.0. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks.